Every NBA team has multiple options at every spot they are drafting at. With that, I wanted to discuss the potential options for each team at each position and ultimately who I would draft as the GM. I have three options: the gold option, silver option, and bronze option. Pretty self explanatory what they mean, so let's get right into it. There is no options for the Mavericks at 1. They must draft Cooper Flag. Dylan Harper is the best option at 2 for the Spurs looking at the board. And I don't care about Ace Bailey being a better fit. Dylan Harper is the second best player in the draft and needs to be taken at 2 regardless of the position fit for the Spurs. We have 3 different choices for the 76ers at 3. The compete now option, which is the gold one in my eyes, the highest potential player for them at silver, and the bronze one being the combination of the two. VJ Edgecombe is able to be a win-now player and would be perfect for the long-term development of the team. However, you look at the number of guards the team has, and it wouldn't make any sense to draft VJ as there is no spot for him to play. Ace Bailey is the best option in terms of a solely focused future outlook. However, the team isn't trading Paul George. They have Joel Embiid, and Tyrese Maxey is an all-star caliber player. Needing to develop an Ace Bailey, who certainly is a project in many cases, does not seem to be their best option, causing Ace Bailey to be the silver option for me. The best option is to take Conkunippo. Obviously a reach here, so I won't be mocking it, but realistically, the 76ers should just trade down and draft Con. Thinking that the 3rd overall pick isn't going to be Ace Bailey no matter who ends up drafting at 3 is something I cannot do, and for the purpose of the video, Ace Bailey's name is off the board despite being the silver option here. Traveling to Charlotte, I am in love with the fit of EJ Edgecombe for the Hornets. He is the exact player they needed in terms of style and strengths. He is the pick I would make here. VJ is the best pick, and if he's not taken at 3 and Charlotte doesn't take him at 4, it is a horrible miss. As for the other options here, Ace Bailey would be available, and at that point you trade back since you don't need him with LaMelo and Brandon Miller. Ace Bailey is the bronze option, but Kaman Maluach would be the second best player on the Hornets player watch list as he would be the center that they desperately need. VJ Edgecombe, then if he's not there, Kaman Maluach. Simple. Things get more interesting from here on out as everything else is a variable now. In Utah, the choice at 5 takes many different things into consideration. Does Utah play the risky game of banking on getting number 1 next season for AJ DeBanza and look to get a role player now in the draft? Do they swing high upside and pray Ace Bailey drops to 5? Or do they look for the scoring potential of Trey Johnson? If I'm being honest, Utah has no room for a guard to play as their current backcourt of the future is clogged. They need a forward, and obviously Ace Bailey is the golden boy for them if he can fall to 5, or they trade up to 3. It will come down to the decision of them drafting another guard in Trey Johnson, or even Jeremiah Fears, whom are considered bronze options in my eyes, or do they take the small forward that looks to be a perfect Utah Jazz player and the silver option here? I would say that Khan is taken at pick 5 to the Jazz, and what might be a surprising selection, but honestly, I like it, as he just screams Utah Jazz in my eyes. With quality defensive players as the current foundation of the team, and a need for true offensive, explosive type players, the Washington Wizards falling to 6 isn't terrible for the team, although it's not great. 3 players come to mind for them at 6 that will most likely be available: Jeremiah Fears, Derek Queen, and Trey Johnson. If you watch my content, you know I want Washington to draft a specific player of the 3 here. My preference is the gold option. Bronze is going to be Derek Queen, as I do wonder if he and Sarr would actually be able to complement each other in the front court. I mean, if those two were to figure it out, it would be dangerous and extremely hard to game plan for. Putting Queen at the vocal point of the offense and having all play around him in the post would be the best situation for Queen long-term in his development as a player that needs a near-perfect fit to truly thrive. I could see it working, but that's also the riskiest pick you could make at 6 for the Wizards, with Bub Carrington being better as a combo guard rather than a lead guard. Jeremiah Fears is an amazing selection for the Wizards if the point guard route is what they elect to take. A high-paced point guard that can push the speed for the Wizards, as they have a bunch of wings that play much better offensively in transition. Fears would be the perfect point guard option. He is the silver option in my eyes, though, since the gold one, the best player the Wizards could draft, is Trey Johnson. You look at the Wizards team, they have a solid young core, just missing a premier scorer. The player you give the ball to at the end of the games and tell to go get a bucket. Trey Johnson is that player, and drafting him at 6 would make Washington's future instantly take another step forwards, and that is why I would take Trey Johnson at pick number 6 if I'm Washington, as he is the golden boy for the team. Are the Pelicans rebuilding? Are they retooling? Or are they even trying to compete? We don't know, and I'm sure they don't know either because, well, it's the Pelicans. Ultimately, I think they will end up trying to compete and hold on to Zion, McCollum, and DeJounte while the team develops younger talent and hovers around the decision of going all in for a rebuild or trying to be a good basketball team. The team has too many players that don't fit the same timeline, and it shows. Even when healthy, they look pathetic because there are too many pieces that do not fit together. It makes no sense, but no matter what they decide to do, they have no money and need a center. Enter Kaman Maluach, their gold option, as he fits both timelines. The silver is Jeremiah Fears, as it would signify a rebuild, and if they decide to compete, they draft Konku Nipple. The simplest option, though, Kaman Maluach. Brooklyn is an intriguing team in the draft because they have so many roster players becoming free agents, opening up minutes for players they draft. Everyone on the roster is expendable, and the Nets don't have anyone for their core of the long term yet. Whoever they draft at pick 8 or even earlier, along with the other picks, are going to be given a heavy load of minutes. Looking at the 8th pick, I look at the biggest high potential projects for the team, as these high potential projects can hit given minutes and being center points of the respective teams. We know the best project of the draft class is Ace Bailey, but if they don't move up, they won't get him. In the 8 range, 1 of 3 players will be available that fit the mold of what is needed by the Nets draft pick. I don't necessarily love the Kasparis Yakuchonis hype at all, by any stretch of imagination, I should say. However, he's a high potential player that will need to play MIG minutes to maximize his skill set and reach that potential. Even with the minutes, I think there's a chance of him not living up to his potential, and that is ultimately why I consider him the Nets bronze option at 8. Another point guard option for the Nets is the high-speed point guard Jeremiah Fears. Fears has to be able to be granted free reign in his offense in order to thrive, and the Nets offer that to him. He has the star power energy that would make the Nets generate the positive traction about the team and put them into the landscape as a team people focus on simply by how enjoyable and entertaining Fears' play style is. Having a young point guard like Fears would allow for all else to grow around him and the team to draft players who are off-ball players next to a point guard who could very well run the team once he develops. Many mocks have this, and I ultimately agree. Derek Queen is the best option for the Nets considering how raw his play style is, yet how skilled he is. His talent and skill set resembles Sengun, Sabonis, and Jokic as a center with the ability to create, score, and playmake with a concerning defensive ability. We look at Queen as a project due to his questionable physical attributes and intangibles that don't account for the skill he has. With that, he will fall, but in a situation like Brooklyn where he could work as a primary playmaker and the ball would go through him, he would thrive. Because of that, you draft a unicorn here at 8 as the Nets, and it's their gold option. Jeremiah Fears, Kaman Maluach, or Asa Newell. Those are the Raptors' 3 best options at pick 9. Who does the team want to trade this offseason between Quickly, Barrett, and Poeltl? Who do they keep? What are they looking to get? So many questions surrounding the team this offseason. Emmanuel Quickly has become unreliable health-wise, so you should look at a point guard, and in all honesty, between their young players, point guards might be the best option for the team regardless of how they feel about Quickly long-term, given their options, as I expect both Kaman Maluach and Derek Queen to be off the board by the 9th pick. Jeremiah Fears being a high-paced point guard who will try and get the team to run in transition, which is something they should look to do with wings like Barnes, Barrett, and Ingram, with a really young bench that can thrive in transition, would make Fears the best player for them. And I think he should be drafted by the Raptors. Maluach's silver option, Queen is the bronze option. Either way, Jeremiah Fears is most likely going to be on the board at 9 while the other 2 aren't. At pick 10, anything and everything is on the board for the Rockets. Knowing how they have drafted, they will take a fit that they like for their team, considering they will most likely be moving on from one of their young wings in a deal. In that scenario, they have 2 options here that I love in Carter Bryant and Colin Murray Boyles. 2 prolific defensive wings that could be huge for the team and develop their offensive games in the G League while being good enough to get minutes on the actual team. In the event of the team just looking at offense in the draft, Walter Clayton Jr. at 10 is the pick I would make, but that's the unlikely scenario. So I love the defense of both Carter Bryant and Colin Murray Boyles, but Colin Murray Boyles, his defensive skill set is insane for anyone from from shot blocking to perimeter defense. He is absolutely elite in every aspect of defense and is my favorite selection for anyone who wants to defend in the draft in this range. So I have Colin Murray-Boyles as the gold option for Houston and Carter Bryant as the silver one as a close second. Piggybacking off of that, between Colin Murray-Boyles and Carter Bryant, I think the Portland Trailblazers should take the one that Houston doesn't draft. Pairing another defensive wing next to Toumani Camara would be an insane addition to the defense. You're looking at trading Anthony Simons, DeAndre Ayton, and Jeremy Grant all this offseason, which would allow you to fully solidify your young core when you retain assets, and then you use this draft pick to add another versatile wing. That'd be perfect on defense off the bench. The team long-term looks like it's going to have a good defense and even has offensive firepower. Outside of Carter Bryant, Asa Newell is an intriguing fit as a do-it-all power forward center hybrid. Already a lot of center depth, however, for the Blazers right now, so he's a questionable fit for me. But my favorite fit after Bryant or Murray-Boyles is actually a heavy reach and a Deuce Thiero, as he is such a dynamic and athletic wing that he would bring a heavy punch of defense and athleticism off the bench, which I think would be good. You look at the Chicago Bulls and you have to pray to God they find some defense at the wing or at the 5. Versatility is ideal for their draft picks, and anyone drafted before this should be taken here besides a point guard. Looking at versatility at this position, Asa Newell is the best option, as he is very adaptable and can play the 4 or 5 and complements any lineup. Not the most exciting pick, but with talented guards such as Josh Giddey and Kobe White needing complementary players, Asa Newell is the best option considering who is on the board here. Rasheer Fleming is a good fit here for me, and if you're looking at a center option, Thomas Sorber is not bad here at all. Thomas Sorber is who the Hawks should take at 13 in my eyes, though. Onyeka Okongwu is going to move into the starting 5 spot, and reloading with a defensive-minded center to become his backup is a great option at 13. Sure, he is a little bit of a reach, but the wing position is crowded, and so is the guard spot, making the center the best option at 13. Jace Richardson would be good, so is Rasheer Fleming, but I think the Hawks should just take Sorber here at 13. Finally, at 14, I have the San Antonio Spurs, who I think should look into 3 players here. Wings that are versatile, that need development would be perfect here, and I think Noah Esingeh, Adou Thiero, and Rasheer Fleming should be looked at here. Personally, I'd say with his physicality and shot blocking ability, Fleming is the best option, and I see him being a capable complement to Wemby in the front court while being able to alternate between the 4 and be a smaller 5 in some cases. Before ending the video, I want to quickly talk about the Thunder, Magic, Timberwolves, and Wizards from picks 15 to 18. OKC should take Jace Richardson, Liam McNeely, or Walter Clayton Jr. Orlando needs to take Walter Clayton Jr., and if not, he better be on the board, Jace Richardson. The Timberwolves will be taking any forward, most likely Nick Clifford or Noah Esingeh, and the Wizards at 18 should take a point guard, especially if they get Trey Johnson at 6, like I hope and pray they do. Ideally, Kasparis Yakuchonis or Igor Demon here. I hope you all enjoyed. Comment down below where you want to see some of these players go, and next draft video will be trade-based, so stay tuned by subscribing and turning on post notifications. Y'all stay safe. Have a good one. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Bye.